time where I entered the hangar, I witnessed recovered alien spacecraft that the Department of Naval Intelligence in the United States was back engineering.
He was a U.S. federal marshal, and he was sent into the area to pick up a man, a fugitive. When he got to the gate at Groom Lake, they let him on to make the arrest, but they required an escort with him. And then first they searched him, and then they assigned an escort, and when they prepared to leave, the escort handed him a black bag. He says, "Put it in your belt here," because if a siren sounds, we pull the bag over our head and lay down on the ground face down and wait till there's an all clear. He says there are things here that are very secret and they can't be seen. So the man says, "Well, what happens if somebody looks up? If you don't stay down there?" They said they're shot on the spot, and ask questions afterwards.
I have had the opportunity over the years to interview, again, people who have worked at the test site at Groom Lake. One gentleman spent 12 of his 30 years in black programs at Groom Lake. When I asked him, I said, first of all, I said, "Do you believe in UFOs?" And he looked at me with a straight face in one-on-one. He said, "Absolutely, positively, they do exist." I said, "Can you expand upon that?" And he said, "No, I can't." About a year later, we were talking about, again, activities at Groom Lake. And I asked him, I said, "You know, can you really tell me what's happening out there?" And he said, "Well, there's a lot of things that are going on there that I won't be able to tell you until the year 2025. But we have things in the Nevada desert that would make George Lucas envious."
We are here at one of the most mysterious places on Earth. Behind these mountains begins the Black World, the super-secret U.S. Navy and Air Force test site known as Area 51. Rumors say that right here the test flights with craft from another world recovered by the military take place. In this film we investigate these rumors, and were at the end able to observe one of those mysterious UFOs by ourselves, right here, near the black mailbox at the desert road to Groom Lake.
This is Nevada test site. The area comprises about 10,000 square miles. It's bordered on the south by Mercury, and on the west side by Highway 95, and up here on the northwest by Tonopah, and across the top to Crystal Springs, and down here to Las Vegas. This area right here is the Department of Energy nuclear underground testing area, with all their areas labeled there. This is called the Yucca Strip. Up here is the Tonopah test range where the F-117 used to fly out of, and now there's other secret programs going on up there. This area all across the north here is used for the Red Flag exercises, which is the Air Force equivalent to the Navy's Top Gun exercises. They come out of Nellis Air Force Base here and fly this whole area. Right dead center of the test site is what is known as Area 51, also known as Watertown, also known as the Ranch. At the very center is Groom Lake. It's about 10 miles on each side, and this is where most of the secret activity goes on. Just 10 miles south of the Groom Lake complex is an even more secret area. This is where the saucers, the discs, are flown, an area called S4. There's 9 hangars inside the mountain, and the discs are flown up the Immigrant Valley, up in this area. They're flown like that. And this is where they can be seen from this road Mailbox Road, which is right here. It's about 14 miles from there to where you see the discs. Up in this area up here is the Tonopah Test Range, and one of the workers up there at this lake right here one day saw a big door open in the dry bed of the lake and a disc come out of there. Area 51 was basically a Navy training base until 1955, when in conjunction with the CIA, Lockheed made a secret test base out of it. And the reason was to test the U-2. In 1959, 60, and 61, they also tested the SR-71 out of there, and it became a perfect area in which to test secret equipment and secret airplanes. So it was, because it was so remote, it was bounded on all sides by mountains, and it was essentially 1,000,000 miles from nowhere. The security that it provided was just exactly what they needed. After 1960, it became a area to test not only planes, but equipment, machinery, all kinds of secret things that they had. In 1972, there is, according to my research, a complete blackout of detailed information, records, what have you, for a period of 18 months. Nobody knows what happens between the summer of '82 and I think it was summer of '72 and January of '74. There's absolutely no records. They talk to security guards. They don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened there. I don't really have any suspicions, because the Flying Saucer program began, Project Red Light began, it's my information, in earnest at Groom Lake in 1960. They did attempt to fly one or two of the craft. There was a major accident, and the testing operations shut down for a number of years. The testing operations began in earnest again, I believe, in 1980, 81, 82, around that area. And the reason I say that is because the security increased drastically during that period. And I believe that just south of Groom Lake, which is in the northeast corner of the Nevada test site, is a place called Papoose Lake. It's a dry lake. There's a secret area there called S4, and I believe that that's where they test the saucers out of. My sources are varied, but the primary source being Bob Lazar, who worked on one of the 9 saucers that were stored there.
Colonel Stevens, you investigated rumors about a top-secret flying saucer investigation project in Area 51.
Yes, the rumors became a little more real to me in about 1978, when I discovered my first participant in the changeover of that base to a very special facility where they took up the runway and laid in underground facilities and special laboratories, and then relayed it and reconstructed the base to make it look just like it did before. The material that is now stored at Area 51, I believe, came from the Roswell crash in 1947, a crash at Aztec, New Mexico in 1948, and another crash down along the Mexican border in about 1949 or 50. The residue was first taken to Los Alamos and to other areas in New Mexico under the control of the Atomic Energy Commission, also super secret facilities. They were smaller, and I believe that the real facility was constructed at Area 51 when they modified